going on, Jerome's? Beautiful Thursday. It's time for another Vikings news dump. He sees you when you're pooping. He knows when you're awake. That's right. Check out, I think it's in store. Producer Allie's the best. There you go. So, now I messed up the focus. Oh, come on. I'm going to leave this in because this is a good pod. All right, so first up. So, J.J. McCarthy had himself an evening the other night. Same thing with Dallas Turner. So, both of them just completely whiffed on their opening first pitch. Now, Dallas Turner went first and airmailed it, and McAfee floated a conspiracy theory that McCarthy, being such a good teammate, just completely turfed it just so Dallas Turner didn't feel bad. I mean, J.J. McCarthy's a nice guy, and I'm sure he's looking out for his guy, Diamond Dallas Turner, but you're a quarterback, and just to avoid the memes and the jokes, I mean, just put 55 miles an hour down the pipe. Could we just do that? Could we just get it like a Jamie Moyer? Actually, no, it'd be... Yeah, you know what I mean. But Hockenson has jokes because Hockenson, of course, had himself a very infamous first pitch as well. What is it with Vikings players and the Twins and inability to get it over the plate? I don't know, man. But welcome to the Just a Bit Outside Club. Laughing emoji, J.J. McCarthy. 09. Yeah. It does make sense. Something that also makes sense is our guy Eli Corbett. So, Eli, happy belated birthday, by the way. He's been crushing it. I feel like he's always been good, but he's getting better. I mean, this is clean, super mean, and of course McCarthy hitting up the stupid realtor pose. There you go. But on U.S. Bank Stadium, here's what J.J. McCarthy's doing. He is the savior for all the dead birds that commit seppuku on the glass of U.S. Bank Stadium, the bird killer stadium. Couldn't kill the Eagles at the Super Bowl, but it's okay. It's okay, man. But either way, that looks really good. Yeah. Also looking good is the chance that Sam Darnold's going to start week 1. As from Vikings Fan Page, there is less than a 10% chance that Vikings quarterback J.J. McCarthy starts over Sam Darnold in week 1's matchup against the Giants, per Albert Breer. Quote, O'Connell put together a detailed step-by-step, day-by-day developmental plan for McCarthy that will require the quarterback to hit certain milestones before the team presses him into real action, end quote. I think you could almost take that down to like 2%. Yeah, full on like Kirk Cousins' favorite milk. So I think that absent McCarthy just coming in and bossing training camp, moving up to the ones, starring in preseason, and Sam Darnold looking like ass, thank you. I think it's going to be Darnold. And if it's not Darnold, I think it's going to be Nick Mullins. I mean, Mullins, he does have the ear of the coaching staff, and he has been here the longest, and he did put up numbers last year when forced into action. He put up some numbers for the other team too, but that's what you get with Nick Mullins. So it sort of is what it is in that spot. So, yes, I mean, the future is 9, but it might not be nigh this season. That one felt good. That's right. Also feeling good. So, carry on my J-word, son. So, the safety out of LSU, draft pick last season. So, basically was limited to special teams duty, and he made some big plays. He made some big mistakes, but he is learning and growing and showing. Coach Coach Daniels has raved about him as well. Per Persuasion, Minnesota Vikings safety Jay Ward is one of the most explosive defenders on the roster this spring. Per Alec Lewis, Lewis noted that the team would not cringe if he had to play. Look for Ward to make a big impact this year, and I'm perfectly fine with that. All right, so it goes Beasley, it goes Metellus, it goes Harrison in the twilight of his career, and then you have Theo Jackson and Jay Ward. Now, Theo Jackson is a damn good football player too, and I think the Vikings go 5 deep minimum at safety, and also they moved Najee Thompson to safety, even though he's more of a special teamer. And yes, I think that it's basically a fait accompli for Lewis Cine. I think the Vikings will try and trade him for like a conditional 7th round pick, but if not, they may just cut him and eat the cap, because it would account the same way either way, because his contract's fully guaranteed because he was a first-round pick, and just go from there. Because at a certain point, money or draft status shouldn't keep you on the rooster over someone else who has earned it. Looking at Thompson, looking at Jay Ward, looking at Theo Jackson. So it just is what it is. But I think that this is probably Harrison's last year in purple. And I think that they're going to extend Beasley. They'll probably work out a deal with Metellus too. And I would love if they kept the 3 safety look, with the third safety being either Jackson or Jay Ward. Next man up. Speaking of up, Justin Jefferson's fantasy value. So, yes, Kirk Cousins, you go. All right. And, yes, Sam Darnold or J.J. McCarthy, rookie quarterback. Fully understand that sometimes fantasy outlook, Sam Darnold, meh. Rookie quarterback, meh. But I feel like Jefferson is going to transcend that. I really do. And even with other mouths to feed with Addison and Hockenson, JJ, like whoever the hell is that quarterback is going to know where his bread is buttered. Like hell, put up 100-yard games with Nick Mullins. He'll be fine. But Field Yates, ESPN, top 10 fantasy wide receivers heading into the season. It's probably PPR. Yeah. But CeeDee Lamb, 1. I get it because, who the hell else is Dak going to throw to? Plus, the Cowboys might be in some catch-up mode this year. I'm just saying. Tyreek Hill, even though, yes, he's going to be splitting time or splitting targets with Waddle. Chase, even though he's going to be splitting targets with T. Higgins. Justin friggin' Jefferson at 4. St. Brown at 5. Actually, really like St. Brown, especially in a full-point PPR, just because the amount of work that he gets from the slot in terms of receptions, like it's a little bit Jarvis Juice Landry adjacent. So he definitely puts up the points. Puka at 6. That seems low, doesn't it? Yeah. A.J. Brown, Garrett Wilson, the remnants of Devontae Adams, and Marvin Harrison Jr., where Harrison's going to put up numbers. Like Kyler is very adept at it. Someone's down there. And I think that MHJ is going to be the beneficiary of that. Now, Jefferson at 4. So, last year Jefferson was a consensus number 1 pick, even with McCaffrey, yes, in a full-point PPR. It didn't quite work out. It happens, man. But, JJ is going to be back, chip on his shoulder. He's already got paid. But also, just because he got paid doesn't mean that he's going to take his foot off the gas. Ain't going to happen, man. So, 4 is low for me, but also I would put JJ above Tyreek. I will put JJ above Chase. I will put JJ above Lamb. All right, so I guess he is 1. Yeah, but it's pretty close and pretty interchangeable. Like, if you're taking running backs at the top of the draft too, mixing in McCarthy and whatnot. But for receivers, like, you really can't go wrong. Yeah, I think you'll be good to go. Like, if you put names in the hat of Lamb, Hill, Chase, or Jefferson and drew one out, as opposed to just picking your guy, you're probably going to be all right. Yeah. But, for me, Jefferson is obviously number 1. Biased. Also, biased is teams looking to put a salary cap on quarterback salaries, which would be interesting. Sleeper NFL. NFL owners are discussing creating a separate salary cap for quarterbacks due to the increase in quarterback contract values per Tom Pelissero via Rich Eisen show. Quote, to my knowledge, there hasn't really gained traction, in part because so many teams have paid their quarterbacks. So, teams will be grandfathered in, and then this just goes forward. I don't see this happening because, first off, the NFLPA will put up a stink. Yeah, and because you can't single out a single position to put a cap on value. You just can't do that. All right, and also, what happens if you don't pay the cap? Well, what if you don't have a quarterback who's worth paying the maximum cap? Like, does that roll over to the other team? If that's true, that's basically just a normal salary cap. All right. And I don't know, like, is there a floor? Like, do you have to pay X amount of dollars to your quarterback position? So that would completely negate the competitive advantage of having your starting quarterback on his rookie deal. So this ain't going to happen now. Like, quarterback contracts are still going to rise precipitously, and most indicative of the salary cap going up because they're the largest and they are the faces of the franchises respectively, and that's just how it's going to be. And soon we will have $100 million quarterback. I would probably say within 5-6 seasons we're going to have a quarterback who makes $100 million per year, and probably is going to be a Rosenhaus guy. I feel like that's something that Rosenhaus would love to have. Feather in his cap. Also, So Vikings Fan Page, talk about how Josh Metellus is one of the most versatile defenders in the National Football League, and yes, he is. And you remember the graphics from last season where he's played single high, split safety, box safety, linebacker, middle linebacker, edge rusher, slot cornerback, wide corner, left, right, center, everything, man. And he does do it all. And Vikes Fan Page just putting out there, can we see Josh Metellus on offense next season? Was a running back before I did anything. Shrug, eyeball emoji. Also, when you go to youth football, I feel like your best athlete is just always going to be running back, or you put him at quarterback and then you just run. That's what happens, man. But do we see Metellus on offense? Nah. I think Metellus is too valuable to the defensive and special teams operation to ever think about using him on offense. Plus, I feel like we're pretty good on offense. Yeah. It's like when Dion played on offense for the Cowboys and other various teams, it's because their receivers sucked. That's it. That's all. Next. So Vikings getting out of Dodge, enjoying their time off before rookies report back to TCO on the 21st, and veterans report on July 23rd. That's coming up. That's less than a month, man. But Cam Beasley taking the wife on tour, Zanzibar, Tanzania. Love to see that. I'm not going to cook it, but I'll order it from Zanzibar, and then I'm going to look. Oh, it's a great song. Addison, allegedly in Tokyo. Although, you could just write Tokyo on a plate in Poughkeepsie, and you're fine there. I could see Addison being popular in Japan. There you go. But also, you ever go to like an Asian restaurant and they have the green tea ice cream? So I found a place that makes matcha green tea ice cream. So it's just like that much more intense. Oh my goodness, it's so good. It is just so fantastic. Like, we people get it right when it comes to ice cream, right? And I'm trying to find it. Like I'm been trying to check out like Asian food stores, except I can't find a flavor that I like. Because I feel like a lot of like Asian like ice creams are just kind of like they're overly sweet. You know what I mean? Which is weird because we're Americans. We like things sweet, but I feel like the Japanese definitely like crank things up. But just like, yeah, I'll find something out. Also, you guys ever tried a savory cheesecake? So like for my birthday and special occasions, I'll always ask the wife to make a savory cheesecake. So basically you just take a cheesecake recipe, but you cut the sugar down to like 25%, and you can actually taste like the cheese. I actually like that, where a lot of restaurants will have more savory dessert options versus just sweet. I don't know. I think it's just like an older, evolving palate thing. So I like that. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, a Vikings on vacation. It's good. Also, Harrison should be having a vacation to Canton, Ohio, in like 6 years, something like that. If he retires after this year. So Harrison obviously has the resume for us, but I don't know if he's going to get in. So ML Football putting this out. Hall of Famer, and again, yes, the aggregator accounts think of what you want, but they're good with stuff like this. Although, is one of the greatest safeties of all time and a surefire Hall of Famer. I'm not ready to say surefire. Like, to me, he should be in, but surefire, we'll get into that. 6-time Pro Bowl, 2-time All-Pro, All-Rookie team, 1,039 tackles, 34 picks, 86 PBU, 12 forced fumbles, 19.5 sacks, most sacks by a DB in Vikings history, most pick sixes in Vikings history as well, which is great. But so we've talked about this before. Harrison has been ripped off so many times for All-Pros, and the fact that he was left off the 2010s All-Decade team still bugs me, right? And I get it. I mean, there's tons of studly players. I mean, Earl Thomas, Eric Berry, it's kind of tough. I get it. But the same people who vote for the AP All-Pro team, the All-Pro team of note, as well as the AP All-Decade team, they're the ones who vote for the Hall of Fame, by and large. It's mostly AP voters. So, yeah, the people who didn't give Harrison time of day, they're the ones who vote if he gets into Canton. So I'm not holding my breath, which is just unfortunate. But he's a Hall of Famer in my book. That's all that matters. Yeah. Lastly, general admission at tickets for Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Today is to finish 7th in the Premier League table. usually. But general admission tickets for Jets Vikings on sale. Now, a lot of people across the pond already got their assigned seated tickets, but general admission, just want to go there, walk around, check it out. They're on sale today at noon. BST, British summertime. I knew that. Also, so I understand that British culture doesn't deal with heat, but if there's a heat wave and it's 78 degrees Fahrenheit, I don't know. Like, I understand that, like, no houses except for like the uber rich in England and London have air conditioning, but come on, man. Yeah. I digress. Like, I would probably be super depressed if it rained every single day for like 2 straight months, even though it's rained every single day for a week here. I don't know, man. But that's it. That's Vikings news dump on this beautiful Thursday. You guys are the best you know what to do. Skull production value.